Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Another Sunday night with Ping. I was going to say nights with Ping, but it's Sunday nights with Ping tonight. How are you all in the chat? We've been gone for a couple of days. I think that was a good thing. I don't think you would want me here yesterday at this time. Let's start with that for a second. Well done to my 49ers. 49ers defeated the Packers. What was it like 24-21? Very rough game out in Levi's Stadium, raining. Niners traditionally don't play well in the rain, but they squeaked it out. Brock Purdy went on a very heroic drive, got a touchdown, and then we intercepted Jordan Love to seal the game. We'll go next week and visit the Lions. So very happy that we're back to the NFC Championship. That's what the team really was looking for after last year with Brock Purdy being hurt. So it'll be a good week next week against the Lions. How are you all? I hope if you watch the football playoffs this weekend, your team won. If your team lost, I'm very sorry about that. I know the sting of defeat. I know it very well. How is everyone in the chat? Let me say hello to everyone before we get set up. Laurie was here earlier. Hey, Laurie. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. How are you? I'll talk more about Danny in a minute. Anika. Hey, Anika. You know, I had a girlfriend called Anika when I was younger. Or Annika, actually. Hey, Rory. What are you doing? My cat's back up here again. I Hate Morning says she'll be eating dinner. Diane Marie is here. Sula. Hey, Sula. How are you? Great to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Flying DJ's here. Hey, DJ. And Sienna and Gambler. Moonlight View. Hey, Moonlight View. Hope you're finally coming good with your illness. Sherry Runs Late made it. Hey, Sherry Runs Late. You were Sherry Runs early today. Woo's made it. And Mary L. Nana Lana, Petunia, Peekaboo Cockatiel. All the great people are here. Lux, Marilyn Landis. Did I miss anyone? Legal Hunting. Hey, Legal Hunting. Good to see you. All right. Let me get the first story set up. Let's talk about this Florida man. Another Florida man story. I feel like it's just a running thing in media circles now. You know, they're just like, we have to put that. It's like a thing. So let's have a look. You guys are going to have a weird view. You're going to have my cat with us today. Here we go. Oh, you can't see her. She's right here, right here. Oh, you might be able to see her little ears. There you go. Let's talk about this. What this bloody camera? We still don't have the camera extension. We're still waiting on. We're still waiting on a bloody Amazon. Hurry up. Let's talk about this. Tampa man shot mother, daughter, and another woman before firing at cops. Michael Banks admitted to police he got upset and shot his mother, 17-year-old daughter, and the mother's friend who were killed. According to court documents, there he is. Michael Monroe Banks is pictured in a Hillsborough County booking photo taken after his arrest Wednesday. Court documents state that Banks admitted he shot his mother, teen daughter, and his mother's friend at a home on North 23rd Street in Tampa, then fired 2 shots at a responding Tampa police officer. The mother's friend was killed. Really not interesting. It's really upsetting, actually. It says, among the new details about Banks, 42, he admitted to police that he wrote a letter to his 17-year-old daughter insisting that she enter into a relationship with him and not date anyone else, and that he got upset when he heard his mother and her friend talking about leaving with the daughter. Banks's mother, 60, called police about 12:42 p.m. and said Banks had shot her and her friend at a home in the 10,000 block of North 23rd Street, according to the affidavit and motion filed by prosecutors to keep Banks in jail pending trial. Officers arrived and encountered Banks's mother and his daughter outside the house. Both had been shot. Banks's mother, whose name is not included in the court documents, said Banks was armed with a muzzle loader handgun. Muzzle loader handgun. I'm not sure what that is, but sounds dangerous. One of the officers, who is also not named in the documents but was identified by the department as Darren Gibson, saw Banks in the backyard and Banks fired 2 rounds at Gibson, documents state. Banks surrendered a short time later and was taken into custody. Officers went into the home and found a woman's body in the kitchen with a gunshot wound to the head. A muzzle-loader revolver was sitting on the table. Police on Friday identified the woman who died as Josephine Muentes, 52. Police did not release the name of Banks's mother and daughter because they are witnesses to a homicide. Banks's mother told police that she and Muentes has been discussing forcing Banks to move out of the home because he was pursuing a romantic relationship with his daughter. And that's the same daughter, the 17-year-old who was later shot. Banks's mother said she then heard a gunshot, turned around and saw Muentes fall to the floor as Banks stood over her holding his gun. Banks' mother said Banks then later shot at her, grazing her head, and she ran out of the house. Banks' daughter told police that she was in the shower when she heard gunshots. She tried to push the door to keep it closed, but Banks shot through the door at approximately head level. She ran from the house. Banks shot her in the leg, according to court documents. Speaking to police, Banks admitted writing the letter to his daughter, according to more court records. Banks told police he heard his mother and Fuentes talking about leaving with the daughter. He described feeling betrayed and upset. Banks said he went to his room and loaded his revolver. The process included measuring gunpowder before pouring it into each of the 6 cylinders, pressing projectiles into each cylinder, and then seating percussion caps for each cylinder. So it's like one of those old style guns, sort of like a musket almost. Banks said he then went to the kitchen and shot Fuentes in the head, then shot his mother. He said he was trying to kill his mother because he was aiming in the area of her head and upper torso. Banks said he then shot through the bathroom door where his daughter was and then shot her. Okay. Banks said he then reloaded the revolver and left the house through the back door. Said he heard police yelling at him and saw an officer in the front yard of his neighbor's house. Banks said he shot at the officer, then put the gun on the table and surrendered. Gibson was not hit by any rounds and no one else was injured. Banks was booked into Hillsborough County Jail on charges of first-degree murder with a firearm, 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, 1 count of attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer with a firearm, 1 count of illegally possessing a firearm as a felon. It says in pretrial detention motion filed Wednesday, the Hillsborough State Attorney's Office argues that there is enough evidence in the case to show that Banks committed the crimes he's accused of, and that he would present a danger to the community if given the chance to bail out of jail. The motion notes that Banks has at least 2 prior convictions for violent crimes, aggravated battery on a pregnant female in 2007 and simple battery in 2010. A hearing on the motion is set for Wednesday afternoon. Wow, that was a long one. But he wrote a romantic letter to his daughter asking her not to date anyone else but him. What on earth, and who does that to their daughter? How old is he? I think they said he was 52. Let me just check. Did they say? Oh, 42. He's 42 years old. There you go. He shot his mother, who is 60. I think he said did they give an age of the daughter? 17 years old was the daughter. So there you go. There's some ages. It definitely sort of needs a trigger warning, right? Trigger warning. It's gross and is, well, what's the word for it? Like abuse and almost, incestual. It's not something we should, I don't know, just not something anyone should approve of or make light of. I think it's disgusting. But glad he's in jail. Glad the police got to him very quickly. Were able to get him into jail with not too many other people being hurt. It's very lucky that this isn't more murders, really. He murdered that one lady, but the other 2 escaped with minor injuries. He could have easily killed his wife and the daughter and maybe a cop as well. So they did a great job corralling him into surrendering and then getting him into the police car. I guess there'll be more information about him this week. Michael Monroe Banks. Let's see if there was an update. Doesn't seem so. Oh, 7 hours ago from Law and Crime. Let's see if they have something else. It just says a man in Tampa, Florida went on a shooting spree after two other adults discussed kicking him out of the home because he pursued a relationship with his teenage daughter. Authorities cite new allegations against Michael Monroe Banks, 42, as well as his criminal history as reasons to keep him held in jail without bond. A hearing on this is set for this Wednesday, so this week. So we should know more in a few days. Yeah, 2 or 3 more days, and we'll get an update. I'm sure they're not going to let him out. I can't imagine they're going to, not with his past history and things like that. Hey, Candy Williams. Hey, good to see you. Um, Yeah. Well, luckily there's no more details. It's not gonna go into any kind of, like, anything else. About as deep as it goes is that romantic letter thing. So, it's all good. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't talk about it if it was, like, worse than this. Um, yeah, it just says investigators found a woman slain in the house, dead from an apparent gunshot wound to the head. The grandmother said that she and the now slain victim had been talking. Yeah, they wanted to get him out of the home for what he was trying to do to the daughter. I'm just trying to see if there's any other details here. No, I don't think so. I think we read all this. So, um, we'll find out Wednesday. I hope they don't let him out. That would be a crime against the community. It really would be horrible. Let's see. Let's see what you guys have to say. Hey, hey, Tina. Hey, Laurie. How are you? That's okay. Robin Lane says, disgusting. Oh, you guys might be wondering why there is no thumbnail with all the names on it. From tomorrow, we will finally have the video at the end of each show. That'll play a little thing saying thank you to everyone that supports the channel and things like that. And that'll happen every night. It won't be just a once a week thing. It'll happen at the end of every show for about 15 seconds. The little video will run. So it won't be in the thumbnail anymore. It'll be a little, like you've seen on other channels, like that little thank you video that people do either at the start or at the end. So, because I had a couple people email me saying, Ping, last week when you did the Sunday show, you forgot to put people's names in the thumbnail. And I was like, no, we didn't forget. We're just moving to a different system. That way we can keep people's names in there for the month and it just stays there. So I don't have to keep redoing it like every few days or whatever. So it'll just be each month and then we just continue. So if you're wondering, as I did have people email. So Wednesday we'll be on. We'll have a show that night. I will let you know what happens to Banks and get you an update that night. Actually, let me write a note on my notepad here. Let me write a reminder so I actually do it. All right, there we go. All right, let's go to something that's, I don't know, I was going to say less disturbing, but I don't think it is. This was on our list, but someone actually sent this in too, and I'll get you their name. I'm pretty sure it's my friend. Is it Amy? Yes. It's my friend. I'm just going to say it's my friend AD. Hopefully they know who that is, but they sent in this story and it was on our list anyway, but I wanted to give them the credit. And yeah, if you didn't hear this, did you hear this over the weekend? Porn stars Rick Harrison's son dies at 39. I thought it was their son that was on the show, but it ended up being it's their it's his other son, Adam, which is not involved with the TV show, but he died from a drug overdose over the weekend. So that's horrible news for their family. It says here, mother 66 accused of murdering son, hiding body in container behind false wall. And when I read this story, I emailed the person who emailed me back and I said, Gee, she went to a lot of effort, right? Like, that's more effort than most people who conceal murders go to. Behind a false wall, it says here, on Saturday, the Gulfport Police Department announced the arrest of 66-year-old Jerry Lynn Israel on the charge of first-degree murder. The incident began on December 22nd after officers received a call about a possible missing person in the 2200 block of 16th Avenue. Throughout the week, detectives conducted several follow-ups and began noticing contradictions in the statements given by Israel. She became increasingly uncooperative and changed her statements multiple times. It also found that Israel was arrested and convicted of murder in Florida in 1995. Detectives found she did in fact commit murder and made several attempts to dump the body at different locations throughout Florida. With this information, detectives were able to obtain a search warrant for her home. At around 10 a.m. on January 18th, detectives and crime scene technicians searched the residence. At this time, Israel was taken to a local hospital after she consumed an unsafe amount of pills. The search uncovered a large wooden box later identified by officials as a military locker-style container with a dead body inside. The container was found behind a false wall. The body was later identified as 42-year-old John Allen Gaither of Gulfport. It is her son. Israel was processed and transported to Harrison County Adult Detention Center to be held in lieu of her bond. I mean, there's got to be a story there, right? The fact that she was arrested and convicted of murder already in Florida in 1995, and she had made several attempts to dump the body throughout Florida at the time. I mean, I have to know more about that. So let's have a look. Jerry Lynn Israel. I'm going to see if I can find anything on the 1995 murder. Let's see. A lot of news channels are picking this up right now. This might be a really big story over the coming weeks. No, there doesn't seem to be. Let me check law and crime. Sometimes they have good background. Here, it says police learned that Israel was convicted of a 1993 murder in Palm Beach, Florida. Israel killed a woman and drove around with her body in her trunk. In her trunk. So that's all we got of that. Yeah. She was known as Jerry Gaither at the time, served a 17-year sentence after her second-degree murder conviction in Florida. It says Israel shot 44-year-old Christina P. Racy to death in July 1993 and then drove around with her body in the trunk, dumping the body in the Indian River County. In Florida, authorities found Israel walking along a remote road with a gun in her hand on July 13th, 1995, threatening to kill herself. She initially tried to blame her boyfriend, saying he killed Racy over drugs and ordered her to dump the body. Police arrested him for murder, but the charges were later dropped. A grand jury indicted Israel for murder, and she skipped town after posting $100,000 in bail. Investigators said at the time she would use well-to-do men for their money and steal their expensive belongings and then leave. And then they said giving her the funds to elude authorities. She was on the run for nearly 2 years until a Florida Highway Patrol trooper pulled her vehicle over near Orlando in 1995 and arrested her. She later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was released from prison in 2003. She then pleaded guilty for attempted trafficking illegal drugs in 2016 and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. So this woman has a checkered history, a real checkered history. Um, I hate Monique says, I guess she didn't learn not to murder, only hide the body in the house. I don't know what she learned, if anything. I think it's wild that she had already committed a murder in 20, 30 years ago, and then all of a sudden she's gone and murdered her own son this time. Yeah, whose idea was it to let her out of jail? I think she must have, served her entire sentence, although what did it say? She was arrested in 1995 and released in 2003? So it's only 8 years. So she got 8 years for the first murder. That's not that long, right? It says she served a 17-year prison sentence, but then didn't it say down here they released her? Yeah. She later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was released from prison in 2003. So she wasn't in prison for all that long, considering it was supposed to be a 17-year sentence, right? Interesting. I don't think this time they're going to be so lenient. You know, she's got a now she's got a history of murdering people. It is interesting that the first one was a woman, the second one was her son, but none of them are these well-to-do men that she apparently ripped off. So she's got a varied history in different crimes. Some of them are murder, some of them are what would you call it? Almost like a dating scam or like, you know, some sort of love con where she gets involved with these men, takes their money and runs away. Oh, you missed this story? Well, she killed 2 people. I don't know if that makes her a serial killer or, something else. It is very windy outside here for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Rowie, careful, girl. She is being a bit antsy because of the wind. Um, by the way, while we have a small break in proceedings, I want to thank Danny, the chat celebrity, for his Ko-Fi donation. I very much appreciate it, Danny. That's very kind of you to support the channel. It is really sweet of you. And I think it's hilarious that you write Danny, the chat celebrity, in your donation message. I think that is hilarious. Guys, give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry. We've had some wind damage actually. We had a big windstorm that came through last week and it blew down a bunch of our bamboo and it's been moving in the wind and she's very anxious about the bamboo moving, I think. Let's see what you guys have to say. Now, Alana says, it's finally going to warm up in Middle Tennessee. I hope so. That cold snap you all went through was very brutal, really brutal. Goodbye Arctic cold. I hope so. There was people who died and there was others who got frostbite and things like that. Really horrible. I mean, I hope it goes away. It's 12 degrees. Wow, that is cold. Tina says it's been windy everywhere. Yeah, down here it's been crazy. Very, very not so much hot. There's no more heat. It's been sort of cool and windy. Very strange. I wonder when we're going to get an update about this woman. Let me just search her name. Jerry Lynn Israel. Let me see if there's a better well, when she's going to be next in court or something like that. You can see here there's a Facebook post by Gulfport Police Department. Just trying to see if there's a when she'll next be in court or something. It doesn't seem to oh, don't do that. Don't play random things. Let's see. Yeah. So you can see here on Facebook, they said first degree murder news release, January 20th, 2024. They arrested the Jerry Lynn Israel / Roby. She has a different last name. Maybe that's her maiden name. Charged her with 1 count of first-degree murder. They initially were investigating as a welfare concern regarding a possible missing person. Yep, we heard that. They're still looking for people with information. Anyone with any information regarding this incident is urged to contact the Gulfport Police Department at 228-868-5959 or the Mississippi Coast Crime Stoppers at 877-787-5898. So it seems like she has traversed two different places, Florida and then into Mississippi, to commit these crimes. Originally in Florida, she's obviously skipped town after she got out of jail in 2003, probably because all the cops knew her, and she's taken off to Mississippi at some point. But yeah, a wooden box containing a deceased subject, and it looked like a military-style box, according to the other report. It was located behind a false wall. That's a lot of work, unless it was already there to begin with. I mean, that is a lot of work to go through for someone. Let's see. Hey, Shad Hunter, good to have you here. Harley. Hey, Harley. Hey, good to see you. I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year's. Harley says, for a little bit of cannabis, they do more time than murderers. Yeah, isn't there a statistic that says there's more people in jail in the US for like $100 of cannabis than there is for murder or something like that? I seem to remember that statistic. Geez, the wind is crazy out there. Um, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's okay. Uh, I hate mornings, says the cat. That's really cute. I hate mornings. You'll have to send in a photo of your cat, sundaywithping@gmail.com, so we can see. All right. I don't have anything else about this woman, but if I do, or I can find out when she goes to court, I will get you an update. But really bizarre story, and I really do think she's got like a larger story to tell, especially about that first murder. And hopefully, those more details will leak out in the coming days and weeks. Because I don't know, is she considered a serial killer? Maybe she's killed other people. You know, 20, 30 years is a long time to between killings. Who's to say she didn't kill someone else and they just don't know about it? And she doesn't seem to have a type either. First one was a female. This one was her son, a male. Uh, it's not like targeting sex workers or something like that, or targeting rich men. So yeah, very, very interesting. All right, let me set up our other story if I can find it. All right, here we go. From our friends in Fox 26 in Houston, Texas. Very sad story, actually. Humble gas station clerk shot, killed after men stole bag of chips. What a horrible thing. Lost his life trying to protect his workplace. Says a humble store clerk is dead after attempting to stop two men who stole a bag of chips from a gas station. According to Humble Police Department Assistant Chief Dan Zintek, officials were called to Will Clayton Parkway and US 59 at East Tex Freeway about shots fired. When officers arrived, they found a 42-year-old man suffering gunshot wounds in the front seat of a car in the median. He was pronounced dead by paramedics at the scene. It says Zintek says two younger black males had entered the Sunoco gas station and stole a bag of chips. The 42-year-old man was an employee at the store and got into a verbal altercation with them about the incident. When the two men walked outside, the employee followed to watch them where they went. Officials confirm the employee followed them in his car when they began shooting. Authorities say the employee tried to reverse and ended up on the side of the median on the roadway. One suspect then took off towards the railway nearby, while the other went towards the freeway. An extensive search was conducted. Uh, they're saying they couldn't find them. It says it's very tragic in many aspects. It's a tragic situation all the way around. Humboldt police said they have met with the victim's family, and according to Zintec, the suspects could be charged with capital murder. Anyone with information on the suspects is asked to contact Humboldt Police Department or HCSO. Now we have some video of the suspects, and I want to show you because that's horrible. A bag of chips, really, and you killed someone over it. What are you going to get done with? Like, can they even do you for theft for $2? I know in some states it has to be over like a certain amount of money. So, I mean, was it worth taking a man's life over it for a bag of potato chips? I mean, it's horrible. Let's watch. Yeah, you guys can see this. Them entering the store with someone else. Looks like your typical, gas station. All over a bag of chips. Yeah, these guys, these two up the back. Hey, too bad. Good to see you. I guess they're just milling around, looking at the aisles or something. Oh, Ziggy. Yeah, stay safe. Cover up. Please be warm. Go be warm. Go. Warm. Take your puppy with you. Be warm together. So we're gonna see what they're doing. Or is that the chips they stole? Is that what they just did? I saw them do something. Let's see. I get people are broke too, especially right now. Money's so hard, everyone's struggling and stuff, but I don't think that was the cause of stealing some chips. I think this was more because they thought they could. There's the attendant sort of watching them. I don't think this has at least I don't think this has any guns fired. Hopefully not. They normally don't show that stuff. Too broke to buy a bag of chips, but able to have a gun and ammo, right? Like I said, I don't think that was the motivation. I'm just saying that I could understand someone stealing right now because it's hard, but I don't think that's what's going on. Taking an awful long time, aren't they? Is this the attendant? Because it's blurred out? Or is that just someone innocent? Alright, looks like they're probably going to leave. Because we now have a door shot. Okay, they've left. And there's the attendant. Sort of talking to them. Saying, hey, you. Hey, come back. Did you pay for that? And he's going to follow him. Isn't normally the routine or the process to not do this because this happens? I'm pretty sure a lot of workers are told not to follow, especially for anything, a bag of chips, cash. So they're sort of yelling back at him about something. Marylander said I wouldn't follow. No. Okay, so there we go. That was it. That was just so if you know those guys, you live in the area, call them in. Call them in. They took a man's life for a bag of chips. Do you want those people in your community? I'm sure you don't.
Assistant Chief Dan Zentek, Zientek, from the Humboldt Police Department. Today about 11:30 to scene as we found one male inside a car that had been shot. EMS arrived on scene and pronounced him deceased on the scene. After further investigation, what we found out is that two younger black males, being probably approximately around 18 to 25 years of age, had entered the Sunco convenience store over here. and had stolen a bag of chips while exiting the store. 42-year-old worker of that store who tried to confront them. They had a verbal altercation. And when I say altercation, it was just a conversation about this. There wasn't anything physical. And the gentleman started to follow them. He watched where they went. He hopped back in his car and then started to follow him in his car. And at this intersection here, which is actually between living spaces and the Will Clayton feeder road, they started shooting at him, in which he tried to reverse his car and ended up on the median over there. The suspects then took off, one towards the railroad tracks, one towards the freeway. There was an extensive search with the help of Harris County Precinct 4 using their canines. We had drones in the air. Houston PD sent officers with canine and with their helicopters searching the area for an extensive period of time, trying to locate them. At this point, we do not have them in custody. We still have people out working. We are under the assumption at the moment that they possibly fled in a car nearby. We have given video to the media to use to help identify these two. They are wearing some distinct clothing that we have no doubt that their friends, family, or otherwise will recognize and be able to give us some leads to take these people off the street and put them in jail where they belong.
Did the surveillance video outside of the store capture any of the words that they exchanged?
No, there's no video on the surveillance. There's no audio on the surveillance.
Is this a situation? I mean, it sounds so tragic, right? He tried to chase after these guys and was killed over some chips. Is that sort of what we're working with?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tragic in many aspects. You know, that I think that for one, them stealing and a store owner trying to protect his property. And second, at this point, it doesn't appear that's much over the chips as someone just trying to stop somebody and as many would say, them feeling like someone had disrespected or shown some authority to them, right? So no, it's tragic all the way around. You've lost a great citizen who's just trying to work and do their job. And instead we have two people that also have ruined their lives because they will be going to jail. This is capital murder. You have committed a theft and a murder to hold on to the items. So no, it's tragic all the way around.
You called him the store owner, but was it an employee or the owner?
That's an employee of the store. Yeah.
You've been an employee for a long time.
I don't know how many shots were fired.
Is he in the white, red shirt, the employee in the red shirt in the video?
Yes, he has a red shirt in the video.
And how old is he again, sir?
He believes he is around 42.
42. Have you guys met with the family?
Yes, the police have met with the family. A lieutenant sat down and talked to them.
How are they doing?
Yes, as most would expect, they are completely devastated. Obviously, any family member being ripped from your family and their life being ended so tragically and early that no one ever anticipates just going to work that day and not coming home. Right.
By the time we see this video, the viewers are going to see this video. Some people are probably going to know who these guys are. So, what would your message be to them?
Very simply, it's if you know who this is, and I have no doubt that you do, because again, out of what they're wearing, the way they walk, and just the way that they hold themselves, everybody's very unique. That you give us a call at the Humble Police Department and let us know. And it doesn't matter. You have to call the Humble Police Department, call the Harris County Sheriff's Office, call Precinct 4. You just let us know where they're at, and we're going to take them into custody and make sure that this family has the closure as best as any family can by giving them justice that they deserve.
Do you know if there was more than one weapon used in this case?
I think we'll leave it there, but I think he says it best. The best we can do for the family is help identify these people and give them the family that'll make them feel better, knowing that they can't bring their loved one back, but they can hold these people responsible for what they did. And we as a community can help with that by identifying them. So if you know them, if you have seen them and you live in the area and you have a way to get in contact with the Humble Police Department or HCSO, please do so. I think that would be very amazing of you. And geez, I hope we don't hear about anything like this. It's just the guy was just trying to do his job. How can you shoot someone at their workplace like that? It's like the most cruel thing you can do. It really is, especially because you know that person is probably one going to get in trouble for losing stock, and two, they feel obligated to try and protect the store because that's the person who's paying their wage. Even though I know they're told not to confront, not to, try and get the stock back or the money or whatever. But uh, how horrible for him and his family. Just trying to earn a living. That's it. Um, if I hear more on this, I will let you know, like always. But right now, I think that's all we have on it. Sunco. Yep. Right now, Humble gas station. I think that's all I have, but I'll have a quick look. Yeah, there's no update about them capturing the suspects or anything. I'm just having a look at a different link. Okay, so there was an update. Hold on. Thank God. This has been on my list for a few days since we last did the last show, but there was an update. They worked quick on this. It says, update, both suspects are in custody. So there you go. Wow, that's good news, isn't it? Should they do they remove the photos in this state once they are arrested, or is that only in California? Yeah, it says both suspects are now in custody. So they turned that around in about 24 hours or so. That's really good. They're saying they didn't escape in a vehicle, they escaped on foot. Just trying to see if there's any other details. No, there we go. I was going to show you this Facebook post, but there's a little update there. Update both suspects. So there you go. So I'll let you know if we hear anything else about court or court dates for these two. But this happened in Houston, Humble, Texas. I think it's Houston, right? Humble, Texas. Is there really a place called Old McDonald's Farm in Humble? That's funny. Yes, it's just northeast of Houston, so just northeast of the city, probably about 20 minutes outside of Houston, something like that. So it's pretty close to the city. So that's good news that they caught them. Because when I saw this story, I was like, a bag of chips, really? Like, it drove me crazy. I just couldn't believe that in the world we live in, people die over a packet of crisps. I mean, yeah. Breaking news. I'm Steve Lookner. Breaking news. He's funny. It's so funny when he does that. He sounds so excited. He sounds like he's going to have like some sort of party over the breaking news. He's an excitable guy. Let's see. Emily Narb says, oh, she's snuggling with her cat. That's very cute. Harley says, I guess they were just beginners. They started with a bag of chips, then escalate for the bigger prize, like a chocolate bar. Let's hope not. Well, they never will now. They're in jail, and they did say in that other article that it could be capital murder. They could be done with a capital murder because it's murder. They shot him in the commission of a burglary, right? They could do that because they stole from the business. So that would be the aggravating factor there, is that it was done in the commission of like robbing a store. So that's probably why they're able to do it as capital murder. There you go. I know that you have to have some sort of elevating factor to do it. We talked about that last week. So there you go. All right. That's good news. Good for them. Ben Popcorn says, congratulations on your 49ers ping. Thank you. I appreciate it. I would have liked a better game. I would have liked my Niners to be more convincing. But Brock Purdy did a great job at the end. He did a great job marching down the field for a touchdown. Did a good job. All right. Okay. Let me find my other link and we'll get to the next story. Actually, let's talk about the shark. Let's talk about a shark. If I can find my link again. There we go. Let me make that bigger for you. It says, a shark bit a 10-year-old Maryland boy who was on vacation in the Bahamas on Monday afternoon. The shark attack unfolded about 4 p.m. Eastern on Paradise Island as the boy was participating in an expedition in a shark tank at a local resort. He was taken to a hospital and listed as stable. Police Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings told NBC News on Tuesday that she couldn't explain what protections were in place at the Shark Tank expedition. She says, I'm a police officer on the island and I've never been over to the aquarium that they're referring to. As for how it's set up, you'll have to speak to the personnel at the resort. The Atlantis Paradise Island offers a snorkeling program in which patrons can get alongside sleek sharks, spotted rays, and brilliantly colored tropical fish in this underwater setting. Michael and Tori Massey told NBC News they were in the tank at the Atlantis Paradise Island when the boy was bitten. They were taking part in an underwater encounter called Walking with the Sharks, run by an outside company. It was described on the resort's website as an easy and fun, allowing visitors to see Caribbean reef sharks and nurse sharks up close, but the experience appears to have been removed from the site since the incident. At first, the Massey said the experience led by the guys was serene and peaceful. Once the little boy came down, it just kind of took a dark turn. We saw the sharks hone in on him, and then just like a pool of blood afterwards. NBC News reached out to Atlantis Paradise Island and Blue Adventures by Stuart Cove, the company that runs the Shark Tank experience, and has not heard back. A spokesperson for the State Department said they are aware of the incident and stand ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance. You know what's funny? They say this in Australia too. Anytime someone gets something overseas, they contact DFAT, which is our department for, travelers and foreign people and stuff, and they say that exact same thing. We stand ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance. They don't give you any update, they don't tell you any details. They're just like, we're here if you need us. Sort of like that insurance company in the US. It says a couple who is now back home said they signed a waiver and knew there would be risk going into the tank, but believe more should be done to protect everyone involved. They said they failed this child and his family. This comes on the heels of another shark attack in the Bahamas that killed a 44-year-old woman from Boston who was paddleboarding off the coast last month. Let's see if there's a video of not the shark attack, but let's see if there's just a news segment. They want me to watch an ad. How dare you? Get off my screen, ad. Let's see what it says. Oh, here we go.
To the Bahamas. But this morning, a 10-year-old Maryland boy is recovering after what witnesses say was a terrifying experience at the Atlantis resort on Paradise Island. Police not saying where the attack happened, but did confirm a shark bit the boy on his right leg while he was participating in an expedition in a shark tank.
We saw the shark like hone in on him, and then just like a pool of blood afterwards.
Michael and Tori Massey say they were in the tank when it happened, taking part in an underwater encounter called Walking with the Sharks, run by an outside company, and seen this Atlantis promotional video. It's described on the resort's website as easy and fun, with no swimming experience necessary, allowing visitors to see Caribbean reef sharks and nurse sharks.
I don't know what happened. We lost the signal? Okay. That's weird. It just sort of stopped. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Let me try and fix this.
For visitors to the Bahamas.
The little boy came down. It just kind of like took like a dark turn.
They say after one of the sharks bit the boy, everyone rushed out of the water, while the screaming child and his parents were taken to a nursing station. NBC News reached out to both the Atlantis Resort and Blue Adventures by Stuart Cove, the company that runs the Shark Tank experience, and has not heard back.
I'm a little surprised that there haven't been more of these accidents.
Shark expert Gavin Naylor with the Florida Museum says attacks in the wild are incredibly rare, but in a tank where sharks are more restricted, they could be more aggressive when stressed.
People should remember that these are not pets. They're not trainable. These are wild animals that are contained in aquarium.
The Massies, now back from the Bahamas, say they signed a waiver and knew there were risks going into the tank, but they believe more should have been done to protect everyone involved.
They felt this child and his family.
Promotions for Walking with the Sharks were removed from the Atlantis website after this incident took place. Police say there are investigations underway. And again, the 10-year-old boy is in stable condition. We also reached out to the U.S. Embassy, but have not heard back. You feel for those parents.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
All right, Emily, thank you.
There you go. I mean, the spooky bit is when that person describes that when the child entered the water, the sharks all sort of congregated and tried to get him. That's concerning, right? It's almost like they saw him as prey. So they're like, oh, here's a small human. We might eat him. Let's try and eat him. I mean, did no one realize the shark's behavior had changed and that maybe they should enact their safety plan or something like that? I don't know. Apparently not, because the child didn't die. The child is in hospital in a stable condition, apparently. Tina says, barracudas and alligators are just as scary. I've had encounters with both up close and too personal. Ugh, what's a barracuda? Isn't it like a giant fish? Harley says, a wild animal is still a wild animal. That is true. Leisha, EDM Leisha, Duff Leisha says, I can't leave out Grandpa Shark, Shark, Shark. No more shark song. We're not doing that here. We're not doing any baby shark song. Do you just like repetitive songs, Leisha? Inside says, Thrasher sharks used to swim by us when we were surfing, never bothered us. This is different though. What? Rory, it's not dinner time yet, girl. You have to wait. Harley says, I did catch a barracuda in Cuba many years ago. That's interesting. It's a fish and a bitchin' car. That is true. I wanted to show you this. This was sent in from Gambler. Sorry, I was going to use his real name. And it says, German doppelganger murder trial gets underway as woman is accused of killing a lookalike beauty blogger so she could fake her own death and escape her strict Iraqi family. It says, Sharaban K and her boyfriend Shekia K are accused of killing blogger Khadiji. Oh my god, these names. I'm sorry. It says she was allegedly tracked down on social media and then stabbed 50 times. They allegedly killed her to get away from her strict family life. It says a German woman who is accused of murdering a beauty blogger lookalike to fake her own death has gone on trial. It's saying they targeted the blogger because of her striking resemblance to herself, sharing the same dark hair and complexion. She is said to have tracked down her lookalike on social media and along with her boyfriend stabbed her 50 times in a bid to fake her own death. Prosecutors said the couple aimed many of the slashes and stab wounds at her face, apparently to make it easier to full investigation. A court in I'm not even going to pronounce that, in Bavaria. There you go. Previously heard how they believed they could pass off their victim's body as Sharaban K so she could escape her strict Iraqi family. There's a photo of her right there. Where's her victim? And this is her victim here. Do you think they look alike? Not really. They look alike in the sense that they're women with brown hair. But I don't believe they look all that similar. Different nose structure, different jaw structure, cheek structures different shape. Like similar, like 5%, 10%. That's about it. They're very different looking women. And not just because one looks all dolled up and the other isn't or whatever. I just don't think their facial structures match very well. She didn't do a good job. And she stabbed this woman 50 times in the face. It's like, that's what you do, right? I'm like, right, I have a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find someone who looks like me and I'm going to stab him in the face 50 times. And then I'm going to tell people I died. Just what goes through people's heads, man? It says prosecutors say the killer couple had been contacting random girls on social media who looked enough like her to convince a coroner. We have determined that the female suspect had decided to go into hiding due to family internal arguments. She wanted to fake her own death and start a new life. You can do that without killing someone else, though. People have done it. It says on August 9th, 2022, the alleged killer sent their victim a message via social media offering her the opportunity to be in a video for German rapper Loon. The pair, who named their fake account Looney Official, told her, "You don't have to do much, but would be great to hear from you," would take place in Offenburg. And they added, "Must be kept a secret though until the song is released." But Khadija grew suspicious and sent a message to the star's official account, and Loon replying saying, "It's fake sis, don't reply." Just 2 days later, the defendants used another Instagram account to get in touch. This time they offered a beauty treatment which would come free of charge if the victim advertised it on social media. They agreed to meet in Eppingen, the victim's hometown, according to Greaser, where the killers picked I hope that's her name, Khadija, up in a Mercedes. They drove towards Ingolstadt. I hope that's right. It's probably not. But asked the 23-year-old to get out of the car in the forest. She was hit on the head at least once and then stabbed 56 times. They allegedly made a point to disfigure her face with a knife in a ruse to make it difficult for investigators and her family to identify the victim. Her face was, they're saying, the police spokesman says, her face was seriously injured with more than 50 knife stab wounds. The killers put their victim's body back into the car and abandoned the vehicle just a few blocks from where Shahraban K lived. Her horrified parents discovered the victim's body in the Mercedes later that day and assumed it was their daughter. So it sort of worked. The parents sort of thought it was her. It says Shahraban K told her parents she was going to God, I can't pronounce these names, guys. Hold on. You know what we're going to do? Here. I'm going to listen to how you pronounce this, then I'm going to say it. I can do it like that. I can't do it off the spot. Let's have a listen. Ingolstadt. There we go. Ingolstadt. That's how it told me to say it. That's how we're going to go with. To meet her husband, but when she didn't return to their Munich home, they went out searching and they found what they believed to be their daughter's body in the back of her Mercedes. It says German police officers had initially identified the body located in the parked Mercedes as her, as the alleged killers had planned, but suspicions about the body's identity arose following an autopsy, and the victim has since been identified as Khadija. Who's that? Oh, that's her partner. That's her partner. He helped her with the killing, I guess. And there's another photo of the victim. You attack someone's face. What is with that in women attacking other women's face in murder? It says Shahraban and Shakia were tracked down and arrested after forensic examinations and a check of the victim's tattoos revealed her true identity. Let's see how you can't get rid of tattoos, right? Prosecutors who plan to question 190 witnesses in court charged the duo with murder following an extensive DNA checks and the investigation of social media and mobile phone records. The pair are being held in custody and their full trial is expected to start shortly. Neither of them have ever made a statement or commented on the accusations. Proceedings on the trial's first day on Tuesday were delayed after defense lawyers said a fair trial wouldn't be possible as prosecutors had submitted additional documents that needed to be examined. While prosecutors argued that it was not unusual for additional documents to be submitted after an indictment, the court is yet to rule on whether to suspend proceedings. The court is set to make the decision on this during this week. The pair face life behind bars if convicted of murder. I'm surprised they didn't get more than that, like abduction and mutilation of a corpse, maybe? Something like that. Let me search both these names. Shahraban K and Shakir K. Let's have a look. Shakir, that's how I'd pronounce it. Let's see. This is why we don't do European stories, because Ping can't pronounce the town names. Let's see. Insightful says she wanted to disfigure her face, but forgot everything else. I know, right? Don't worry about all the really, distinctive tattoos. Just stab her in the face a few times. People that commit murders are not very clever. Tina says this was to serve our particular purpose. She, the killer, needed to fake her own death. This is true. She was here before. She was here earlier. She jumped down now. I know, right? They're not very clever. Kenny Williams says, I'm not sure the perfect crime exists. Do you think so? I think there's been crimes where... Well, Mr. Cruel. I mean, you look at Mr. Cruel, someone who went to so much effort to cover up his own identity, his own DNA traces, forensic traces, and he's never been caught. I mean, it's not to say he might not ever be caught, but it's been 30, 40 years and no one's ever caught him. And they have really no clue who it is, no DNA evidence, no anything to link it to a real person. I'm not sure if it is a perfect crime, but it's unsolved for a long time. That is true. Moonlight is a great mod. That is very true. That is very, very true. She's a great mod. Harley says, I'm not sure, but there are unsolved crimes. This is true. Yeah, Zodiac Killer too. And that one's weird because you have so much information from the killer in the Zodiac case, yet they just really don't have any links to a real person or something concrete. Yet there's so much evidence. Didn't he write a bunch of letters to newspapers and ciphers and things like that? I mean, there's a lot of evidence that he willingly gave out to the public compared to some other ones where they basically committed the crime but didn't talk to anyone else or whatever. That was quite a public murder. So that's, I don't know about perfect, but there's people who have definitely put more thought into it than other people, if that makes sense. Leisha says, face is not done for identifying someone. Face is not done for identifying. Oh. Jealousy or hatred. Well, they said in this one it was so that forensics couldn't tell it was the other woman or whatever. But you might be right. You might be right. I know that in a lot of female cases, attacking beauty features is a sign of jealousy, jealous of inferiority compared to the other woman. So that is quite a. That's why I said it's common for women to attack faces, which it does happen quite a bit with female killers or females who attack other females. They often attack their face or other things they perceive as beautiful. Yeah, this girl just wanted to steal her identity. Tina says, unfortunately, there have been the perfect crimes. Israel Keys comes to mind. There are unsolved murders out there still. There's a few. There's a few. I actually thought for the longest time the Long Island serial killer might be the perfect crime because if you could have tied him back to the ones in the 90s, I mean, he had a killing spree dating over 25 years, but I'm not sure anymore now. Yeah, cutting their hair is humiliation. There's other things too. There's other things like sexual things, and we don't have to go into that though. All right. That was a really interesting story. I'd never heard of that one out of Germany though. And that was from Gambler. Gambler had been keeping an eye on it from Bavaria. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that because I didn't even see this one come up in the papers. So what a strange thing though. Trying to find a doppelganger on social media so you can get out of your own strict family. I mean, that might go down as one of the craziest crimes I've heard of. I'm just trying to see, did they actually make a decision on this? Let's see. I'm just trying to see if they made a court decision, whether they can go to court or not. Actually, here's a side by side. There you go, of the victim and the accused, and you guys and ladies and octopi can tell me whether you think they look similar or not. I mean, for a guy who left a knife sheath underneath one of the victims, I don't know, maybe in his own mind, he thought he committed the perfect crime, but in reality, not really. Not really. And the fact he left witnesses, like there was people who literally saw him exiting one of the rooms from the murders. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think he's all that clever. Like I said, just in his own lunchtime. Yeah, some people are saying yes. It's a sick, twisted murder, though. Yes. That's right, a legend in his own mind. Has there been an update about Morphew? I don't think so. I'll have a look for you. You know, the fact that they found her, it just means everything. It really does. And I really thought they may never find her. But the fact that they did stumble across her, it means everything for her daughters, you know. I mean, 2 daughters, right? She has 2 girls. Is it 2 girls? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just the fact they were able to get her back for the family means a lot. Let me see when the last update was. The last update I can see was about a month ago on Fox News. And it says Susan Morphew murder, DA under fire as husband, daughters say they're discouraged in unsolved case. Linda Stanley allegedly communicated with true crime YouTubers, failed to promptly share discovery. Okay. Let's watch this video and see if it has an update. Hold on. Oh my god.
A week after Suzanne, his wife and the mother of his 2 daughters, disappeared, pleading for help. 95 days later, Barry says he's still searching. Quote, "My wife and I have been in love since 1988, and she's the love of my life, and I continue to search for her every day, and I will until I find her. I promise, and I promise my girls that." During our phone call, he mentioned several times of his family's deep faith, saying, "We don't know why God does what he does, but we have to trust him," telling me the reasons he's been silent in the days and months following Suzanne's disappearance is finger pointing.
I don't know why the husband doesn't speak out, right? Any info is good info if you're trying to find out what happened.
And it was Barry Morphew's.
Questioning his search method.
Eyes were her hair or anything about her, you know, like how tall she was or anything.
No, I think that's an old video. I think it's like around when she went missing. It says authorities located Susan's remains in a shallow graves about 45 miles south of Maysville in September. And Stanley, who first brought charges against Barry, is under investigation. At this time, the Morphews are extremely discouraged and saddened, and as it has been 2 months since Susan's remains were recovered, and they have not received any victim notification about the manner and cause of death of their mother. Notification about the manner and cause of their mother and wife's death, nor any general information regarding the death investigation. So the Morphew family say they're annoyed. What, girl? Calm down, Wowie. Yeah, that's it. Just that the prosecutor's got a bit of fire under his seat. I don't see anything really else. It says the Office of Attorney Regulation Counsel, OARC, filed a complaint against Stanley, alleging that she exhibited multiple instances of prosecutorial misconduct. The deadline for Stanley to reply is 28 days from when the complaint was filed, which would be Monday. Fox News Digital has reached out to Stanley's office for comment, and the family says, "We are pleased that the OARC is taking actions against Ms. Stanley on our request for investigation for her prosecutorial abuse and misconduct." The complaint first accused Stanley of frequent communication with Mike King, the host of true crime channel called Profiling Evil. Stanley allegedly responded to King's request for information about the case. When King speculated that Barry killed Susan in their hot tub, for example, Stanley replied, "We know it wasn't bloody. The hot tub was drained with crust around the drain areas indicating it had not been used for a long time, but keep on spinning your ideas in your brain." So they're basically saying because she talked to true crime YouTube channels, including Mike King and True Crime with Jules, they're saying that she was committing misconduct in the case. So, oh, good night, Tina. Good night. Give me 2 seconds. Rory is going ballistic for some reason. Hold on. Yeah, here she is. Here you go. It's all right. It's all right, kitty cat. She was like crying about something. I'm not sure what. She just gets really angry when she doesn't get her dinner yet. She's like, "Oh, it's food time. I'm a cat. I'm hungry." Yeah. Enjoy your slumber, Tina. It's good to have you here tonight. What time are we at? We're almost done. Delivered. What? Guys, give me 2 seconds. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm sorry to break it again. Sorry, guys and girls. I had a weird thing pop up. It was a courier, and it said something had been delivered, and I was like, "What's been delivered? I'm not expecting anything." It was the nails to fix my fence that blew down. In the windstorm, my fence, the bamboo sheeting across the outside, blew down from the wind, so I had to get these little U-shaped nails. They didn't even tell me it was shipped, just that it'd been delivered. All right, let's keep going. We've got a little bit of time left, and then we'll. Hey, Brenda, how are you? It's good to see you. Hey, for love is a four-letter word. Good to have you all. Okay, at least we know what that was now. That was weird, very strange. They just said there's a parcel that's been delivered, but didn't tell me who it's from, what it's for. Um, yeah, she needs her screen time for her fans. She does. Did she entertain you all? Oh, wait, I didn't leave it on. She's literally lying underneath the camera right here, just hiding from you all. Okay, one more story. One more. By the way, I want to say something to someone. Oh, okay. Oof, thank God. I was going to say the wrong thing, but Fluffy Muffin sent in a Ko-Fi donation. Fluffy Muffin, that is extremely kind of you. Same with Danny Chat Celebrity sent in a Ko-Fi donation to start the show. It's really sweet of you guys. Very, very kind. You guys are amazing. I'm not a carpenter. No, I just know how to put back the fence. You just got to use these little U-shape. What are they called? Staple nails, and just whack them in with a hammer. It'll be all good. Boys just know how to do certain things. It's not a hard job. It's not like electrical or something. All right. Let's keep going. Let's get you guys something better to. Let's get another one. Let's find something interesting to end the show on. And then I do have a photo. Who was it? Someone very kindly. Oh, it was Sienna. My friend Sienna sent in a photo of her cat. So I am going to show you her cute cat to end the show as well. We haven't had a Sunday Nights with Pink animal in a while. So that'll be cute. All right, let's talk about this. Because this is bizarre. And I find it always funny when they're wearing those green schmucks. You know, these things when they first get arrested. They like to wear these so people don't harm themselves. So it says, a 28-year-old Iowa man has been charged with the gruesome murder of his mother in their home in Dubuque this week. A friend of Jennifer Ann Daisy, 46, called police just before 9 a.m. on Thursday after finding her body in a bedroom. KWWL reported court documents said 2 of her fingers had been severed and she had significant injuries to the neck, face, and head. Police found Tyler Daisy naked in his room and not everly responsive. He was charged with first-degree murder in his mother's death, animal abuse causing death for the death of the family dog, which was found dead on the sofa from head injuries. Police found a tactical tomahawk in the bathroom and its sheath on the dining room table after securing a search warrant for the home. Police did not say if they believed it was the murder weapon, but it was sent to the crime lab for analysis. Tyler Daisy was checked out at a hospital before he was questioned by detectives. Documents say that he admitted the tomahawk was his and said that his mother was practicing witchcraft against him and had been doing so for years. He invoked his right to remain silent when asked about her injuries. The bond for Daisy was set at $2 million at a bond hearing. I want to see if we can find a video for this because this is really interesting. Not on this particular one. Let's see if KWWL wants to help us out. No, neither one does. Hold on. Let me find a better source. No, none of the local papers want to do that. That's weird. You'd think such a big case they'd want to have some sort of video on it. Okay, here we go.
Here's an update in breaking news, which has come in just in the last few minutes as Dubuque police say they indeed have a murder case on their hands, and they confirm now they have arrested the son of the murder victim following that investigation, which originally came in as just kind of a suspicious death. Now Dubuque police say the victim who has been murdered is 46-year-old Jennifer Dazzi. She was found dead inside her home at 1605 Avoca Street. Following the day-long investigation, Dubuque police have arrested her 26-year-old son, Tyler Daisy. He has been charged with first-degree murder.
I don't know about you, but the witchcraft thing sounds bizarre. Do you think that's a case of like schizophrenia or something? It almost sounds like something a schizophrenic would say about another person, like they're committing witchcraft on me and stuff like that. They tend to say things very similar to that to people like that haven't done anything to them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That the dog was probably trying to protect the mom from being attacked, and he killed the dog. Mental or on drugs, possibly. Yeah, Sean. Hey, Sean. Hey, how are you? They give out. Yeah, a lot of times they do. I found that really interesting. That in America, a lot of times they'll give out like the precise address. Like they'll say, "Oh, 57 Harold Street," and I'll like, wow, in Australia, they do not do that. They'll say, "Oh, it was somewhere on, you know, West Melbourne in Sunshine, off, off something." They'll be really obscure about it. They won't give you the exact address. That's interesting. Sienna says she was probably a Wiccan, but didn't do anything to him. Just a thought. I think you might have something there. You could be right. Harley says, Sienna, thank God to YouTube. That's how I learned how to change oil from my machines and other stuff too, fixing furnace problems. Yeah. Learn whatever you can about whatever you can that can save you some money. That's all I can say. If you can teach yourself a new skill, go for it. It's great. I just meant like because people are like, am I trained in this? But no, but like I mean, I just know that the fence like fell down and it had these. I needed more of these to put the fence back up, and it's just like 1 + 1, and I just put it back up. Harley says, "What is a Wiccan? A Wiccan is like, like Mother Earth and this and that. They love. It's like a type of witchcraft, but it's not right. It's like pagan or something. I don't know a lot about it. It's like it's got something to do with a pagan religion. Is that right? Let's have a look. It says Wicca, so that's how you pronounce it. They spelt it wrong in the article. Also known as the craft, is a modern pagan, syncretic, earth-centered religion. Scholars of religion categorize it as both a new religious movement and part of the occultist Western esotericism. It was developed in England during the first half of the 20th century and was introduced to the public in 1954 by Gerald Gardner, a retired British civil servant. Wicca draws up a diverse set of ancient pagan and 20th century Hermetic motifs for its theology, structure, and ritual practices. Wicca has no central authority figure. Its traditional core beliefs, principles, and practices were originally outlined in the 1940s and 1950s by an early high priestess, Doreen Valente. That's interesting. So, yeah, they don't really do bad things, I don't think. I think it's more like they try and improve things or like help themselves or other people or stuff like that. As far as I know, I mean, I don't know a ton about it, but there you go. There's a little early intro to it. I'll put the link in the description in the chat. There you go. Yeah, like that's what I mean, like Mother Earth, and they're always doing things with like trees and stuff, and they do like their meetups. I don't know what the meetups are called, but they like meet up with other people in their clan, or there's a word for it, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like they meet up with their other people and do things, and don't think they're bad people. I just think they more earth related and more nature, and you know, they say thank you to trees and stuff for like giving us wood and leaves and stuff. A coven, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, I think they're mostly good people. I think it's been warped by the media, trying to push it into more relating into like actual witchcraft. Like, there's another one that's more like, you know, what we can what when people think of witchcraft, they don't think of Wiccans as such. They think of the other one, but I can't remember what the other one's called. And oftentimes people confuse the two, and the Wiccans get a bad rap. Sean says pagan is or was all religions that weren't Catholic or Jewish. That's very interesting. Voodoo? Maybe voodoo. Maybe Raby. It might be voodoo. Madonna is a Covenant. Is she really? I had no idea. Hey, Teresa. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you. A cult. That is the word I was looking for. Thank you. I know, right? I saw that. The same media that screamed about Dungeons and Dragons being a gateway to Satan. People say some weird stuff, right? Like esotericism. Yeah. Are you sure? You sure you're joking? It's alright. I'd still love you anyway. It's okay. We've got a little bit of time left. I want to show you something from Sienna. She sent in a photo of her little cat, so I want to show it to you. Since we used to do this all the time, but we sort of ran out of people sending photos in. So I stopped asking because people didn't do it anymore. But here's her little cat. This is from Sienna. And Sienna says, this is their rescue kitty called Callie. She rules the house and we love her so much. So there you go. It's a very pretty calico cat. Very, very pretty with the black and the gingery kind of tortoise shell. Really pretty. You don't often see cats with that kind of markings. Really, really cute. So there you go. Your cat is now famous. Yeah, it's pretty, right? Pretty, pretty little cat. Inside One says, yes, the occult includes psychics, Wiccans, and other things. The occult. It reminds me of that movie. What's that movie where they go into the occult bookstore? Can't remember, but that's what, every time someone says occult, that's what I think of. Sienna, thank you for sending that in. It's very kind of you to share your pets with us. If you have a pet and would like to see it on the Sunday show next week, send in your photo of your pet to sundaywithping@gmail.com, and your pet could be up on the screen next weekend. What have we got planned for this week? Well, we've got a show tomorrow night. Of course we do. At 9 p.m. We're back at our original time slot. And we'll have millions of things. There's probably going to be all sorts of stuff happening. My mind will be less on football and more back on true crime. But I'm sure we've probably got another day of trial tomorrow morning, being Monday morning. I'm guessing the trial's back in the morning for Doulos. Let's see. Doulos trial Monday. Let's see if it's back on Monday. Oh, that juror did get dismissed for the Gone Girl comment. Interesting. In the Doulos trial, let's see. Judge dismisses juror who compared Connecticut missing with the Gone Girl. That's interesting. It says a judge on Friday dismissed a juror in the trial of a Connecticut woman accused of helping her boyfriend cover up the murder of his estranged wife after the panelists likened the case to the novel and movie Gone Girl. I wonder if that's because it's part of the evidence as well, that somewhere someone said, oh, she was committing a Gone Girl. You know, Jennifer Doulos was, which I don't think she is. It says Judge Kevin Randolph received an unsigned note from a juror in the trial of Michelle Troconis Friday morning, accusing another member of the panel of making the comment in the presence of other jurors. The juror discussed something about the case and it was all over social media, and said the note read, said it was like Gone Girl, a brief mention. Several other jurors said, don't discuss this. Randolph then cleared the courtroom to question jurors about the comment. He ultimately dismissed the juror, identified only as Juror 186, who acknowledged making the Gone Girl comment. Every other juror indicated that they would be able to afford the state and defense a fair and impartial trial. Gone Girl is a 2012 novel by Gillian Flynn that was turned into a 2014 movie starring Ben Affleck. Is about a woman who fakes her own disappearance and her husband who becomes the suspect. Troconis 49 is charged with a conspiracy to commit murder and other crimes on allegations that she helped her then boyfriend Fotis Doulos cover up the killing of his wife, Jennifer Doulos, in 2019. Troconis has pleaded not guilty and denied any involvement. It goes on to say that police believe Fotis Doulos attacked his wife in the garage of her home in New Canaan in Connecticut, May 2019, after she dropped off the children at school. That's like they were checking out the garage in that video we watched last week. So no trial is ever simple. No trial is ever drama-free. And it looks like we already got a dose of drama in the Troconis trial. I mean, what a silly thing to say in the presence of other jurors. Really is. Cyclone on its way? I don't think we have a cyclone, do we? Oh, it does say tropical cyclone. What is this? It says tropical low 05U, 15% low chance of tropical cyclone strength Monday, 22nd of January. Yeah, that's interesting. So they reckon it's going to increase to a Cat 3 and hit Townsville? Really? With a 15% chance? What are they smoking? Why would they put it at a 15% chance when it's going to develop into a... See, to get from here, how many days? In 3 days, it's going to go from tropical low to Cat 3 and make landfall. This is what we call hyper intensification, because this is like only 3 days and it's already going to go from like basically unorganized low to a major tropical cyclone. I can't wait to watch this if that's true. Let's have a look at the satellite image. Let's have a look if it'll load for me. All right. Oh. All right, it's this. See, it's very unorganized. You can't really see a center location or a center low pressure system. Normally, you'd see a low swirling around. Let's have a look at the time lapse. So it's here. You can see the center motion starting to swirl, sort of, right here. Coming down this backside and then coming up here a little bit. Yeah, it could. It's gonna... Well, there you go, actually. You see here, if you look just... I can't get any closer, I don't think. No. Can I? No. But just in this area here, you see some explosive high top thunderstorms starting to come up. There, bang. You start seeing those. When you start seeing those, you know it's getting interesting. There you go. Explosive development right there. Yeah, it could do. You get these... It looks like it's trapped though. You got this maybe a trough or something coming up through here, pushing air through this way, and then you've got air, something over the higher layers coming down here. That's what you're getting, that spinning motion. You got these different winds going at different heights in the atmosphere. So you got some going south, some going north, and you're getting this spin. All right, well, we'll see. If so, it doesn't have far to go. Look, It's just here, and it's going to come over and hit here apparently. So it's going to go from there to there in like 2 days, and it's going to go from unorganized low to category 3 hurricane cyclone. Interesting. We'll see. Yes, I'm in Australia. Everyone in the chat is America, UK, some Australians as well. Wu says they may be expecting heaps of rain down to southeast Queensland, including Brisbane. I heard about 12 inches. That's crazy if that's true. They've had a few problems with their forecasting and that. Yeah, I'm far away from this. I'm okay. There'll be no cyclones where I live. It's too cold. They just don't make it down here. Although we get the remnants when the cyclone travels over land and gets south, and it becomes like an ex-tropical cyclone. It does come into my state, but not anything to be concerned about. Night Inside for one. Yeah, we're going to wrap up now too. Yeah, thank you all for a great night. I really appreciate all the people who are able to come out here on a Sunday night and support the channel. It's really kind of everyone, and I can't do this without you. And you all help make the channel as successful as it can be. So I really appreciate it. I love you all. I hope you have a great Monday. Have a great Monday. Get a lot of sleep, please. And be back here for 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Teresa says, Ping, when you say 9 p.m. tomorrow, I'll need to convert to US Pacific. US Pacific, it's 6 p.m., I think. 3 hours, right? I'm not a Victorian. What am I then? I don't know. Hey Emma, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, how are you? Hello from Australia to Sweden. Let's see. Yes, night, everyone. We're going to wrap up in a second. And yeah, please make it back here tomorrow night for another live show with Ping. We'll have updates about the Doulos trial, whatever other true crime I can find, stories from Australia. There was a murder of a man down here over the weekend that we're going to have a look at. Oh, no, I was born in New South Wales. So, no, I'm not Victorian from birth. No. Nope. I'm a Welshman, New South Welshman. Yeah, that's it. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Moonlight View, for doing the moderating. I very much appreciate it. And to everyone else who showed out tonight, love you all. And to Fluffy Muffin and Danny, the chat celebrity, you two are extremely kind for sending in those donations to the chat. It is very much appreciated. And tomorrow night, you'll see the new video at the end of the show, thanking all the monthly people who do donations and things like that. And I hope you like it. I hope it's something a little thank you to all those people that make the channel run. So see you later, everyone. That was another Sunday Nights with Ping in the books. Until next week. Good night, everyone.